Hey guys, I'm presenting my heart healthy menu for culinary medicine. And before we start cooking, I just want to go through the patient scenario just so we know why we're using the certain foods we'll be using in this video, as well as what the patient needs from us. So our patient is 53 years old and is a Greek male. He came to his doctor because of ongoing chest pain. He explains to his doctor that he also has tightness in his chest, shortness of breath, and lightheadedness. After a workup, his doctor diagnosed him with coronary artery disease. His doctor advised him to change his current diet. However, hearing this, it makes our patient worried because he's not a confident cook and can never seem to get his vegetables to taste good. So our patient is seeking help from us to create a menu that helps him with his heart-healthy diet and also meets his cultural needs. So the meal that we're going to be focusing on is breakfast. So as you can see, we've got some eggs, cheese, and spinach. So we're going to be doing a scramble, and then we also have some toast on the side. So first off, we're going to start with 2 eggs, and then we're going to use feta cheese because that goes with his culture, as well as we're going to focus on fat-free to help with his coronary artery disease. We're going to have 2 teaspoons of olive oil, so you can see extra virgin olive oil, and then we're going to put some spinach in this scramble to increase his vegetable intake, and that's going to be about half a cup. And so this is going to be a cup of feta cheese, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then 2 slices, 2 or 1 slices, depending on how hungry the patient is, for toast. So we're going to start heating the pan first. So I just put it on to about between 3 and 4. And so the first step is we're going to put the olive oil into the pan. So this is going to help us just cook the spinach before we put the eggs in there. So 2 tablespoons. And then just make sure it covers the pan nice. And I'm gonna go and put half a cup of spinach in the pan. And then we're gonna cook that until it reduces. And you can coat the spinach in all the olive oil. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn up the heat to help it cook. And while we wait for that, we can also go ahead and put the toast into the toaster. So we're gonna go and do that. And so with me, at my house, I just have a toaster oven. So I'm just gonna set it to about medium. So it should be about 3 minutes that you toast. And then we're gonna go back to the spinach and we're gonna reduce the heat because it's cooking a little high. But as you notice, it's kind of reducing in the size that we first put it in. So that's what we want. So it's getting nice and reduced now. So it's looking like we can put the eggs in the pan so they can cook too. So we're gonna do that. And I went ahead and already scrambled it. So all you gotta do is just crack the eggs in a bowl and scramble them before you put them into the pan. So we're gonna do that. And put that in the sink. Mix that up real quick. And then we wanna put the feta cheese in here too. So we're gonna do that. Just dump 1 cup of feta cheese in here. And we're not gonna add any salt because the cheese already has a good amount of salt in it. So turn the heat up a little bit. And just keep stirring it until the eggs get cooked and the feta cheese also melts with it. Let's go and check the toast just to make sure it's not burning. It's looking nice so far. And now back to the eggs. And we just kind of keep on stirring them so we don't burn the eggs and the cheese. Now we're gonna go and check the bread again. It's looking pretty done, so we're gonna pull that out. It's nice and toasted. See? So we've got 2 slices of raisin bread that are now toasted. So the patient can have something sweet at breakfast with his eggs, and it's also whole grain, so he's getting the grains that he needs as well. And now we're back to stirring the eggs. And they're like looking pretty close to done. We can kind of tell that because they're looking pretty firm in their texture, and the cheese is looking pretty nice and melted too within the eggs. Alright, so our eggs are now done. So we're going to turn this off. We're going to transport this to our plate. All right, and so now we have a one of our breakfast items all cooked for the patient. And so we have our scrambled eggs with the feta cheese and the spinach and 2 slices of the Raisin Bran. And so this is a good meal for our patient because it's got a good amount of protein, and we focused on low-fat feta cheese, but also stayed within the type of cultural foods that our patient's gonna like, and made sure that they have a well-balanced diet. So before we end today's video, we're just gonna go over why I chose the specific ingredients in the recipe for the patient. So again, the patient has coronary artery disease. And so we just want to focus on foods that do not have saturated fat in them, as well as low in sodium. So a dietary pattern that I would recommend to the patient is the Mediterranean diet. First off, our patient is from Greece. So the Mediterranean diet is going to include a lot of foods that are culturally appropriate for our patient. And secondly, it's going to incorporate foods like fruits and vegetables, olive oil, olives, as well as like things, eggs, lean proteins, which are really crucial and nutritious for our patient. And so we met those dietary patterns in our meal. So we had 2 eggs, the spinach, we used the feta cheese, which was lower in fat, as well as the olive oil. And then we had 2 slices of raisin bread, so we met the whole grain need as well. And so that is the meal for our patient, and I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching.